Question 36. During a particular experiment, two events A and B, I'm going to say event A and event B, can each occur. Events A and B are mutually exclusive during this experiment. So event A, I'm going to call EA, and EB are mutually exclusive. Which of the following probabilities is zero? So they give us F, P of A. They say P of A is 0. G, they say P of B is also 0. H, they said P of A or B. And then the last one, J, they say P, A, and B. So this is a very simple question. Mutually exclusive here. So the first thing is that they said two events A and B can occur. So which means that A can either occur and B can also occur. The probability of A occurring cannot be 0 because they say it can occur. So we can take this off. The probability of B occurring is also possible because they say it can occur. So this cannot be the answer. So it's not 0. Probability of A or B can occur, yes, because A can occur or B can occur. Either one can occur. So in this case, H is out. Since they say it's mutually exclusive, the probability of A and B occurring at the same time is not possible. So the answer is A and B. Probability of A and B occurring at the same time is 0. An example of that is probability of that the light is on is possible, all right, or B, that the light is off, right? These two are mutually exclusive. It is possible that the light is on or is off, but it's not possible for the light to be off and on at the same time. So that is what mutually exclusive means. 37 says the polynomial function defined by Px is equal to s cubed plus s squared minus 8x minus 12 has x minus 3 as one of its linear factors. So this is one of the factors, right? What are all and only zeros of P? So trying to ask us the zeros of P. So in this case, they gave us option A, minus 3 and 2. Option B, minus 3 and 2. The first one is minus 2. Option C, they gave us minus 2 and 3. And option D, we're giving 2 and 3. Well, since they gave us the first factor as x minus 3, which means that x minus 3 is equal to 0, right? So that x is equal to plus 3, right? Which is 3, right? So we can remove any factor, any option that does not have 3 as the answer. So we can strike this out. We can strike this out. So we have these two. We have C and D that we really need to work on to see which one is the answer, right? So this how you can increase your chance, your odds of getting the right answer. So we know that one of the factors is x minus 3. So we can now use x minus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, x equal to 3. So once you know what the value of x is, we can factor using the this method right here. So all you got to do is write your 3 right here, draw a line, drawing that line right here, and then take the coefficient of these variables, right? And a constant. So the coefficient of s cubed is 1. The coefficient of x squared is 1. And we call this method synthetic factorization. And the coefficient of x here is -8. And the coefficient of this constant here, well, there's no coefficient, it's actually -12. So we're at -12 right here. So what we're going to do, we're going to drop this 1, okay? And then we're going to write 1 right here. And then we say 3 times 1, okay, is 3. So we're going to put 3 right here. And then after that, you're going to plus 1 plus 3 is 4. So that's how you do it. Next one is, so you do this right here, plus you bring it down. Then you do this again. 3 times 4 is 12, right? So write it right here. And then you add it. So you have -8 plus 12 is 4. So now you have 3 times 4, 12 again. And you have 12 plus -12 is 0. So now you can now write your factor, because we just use factorize. So your factor now will now be, you have s squared, right? Plus, because you're factoring out. So it's going to be s squared plus, you're going to have 4x plus 4x. So that is the factor. So this right here to have 2 factors. One factor is x minus 3, right? And s squared plus 4x plus 4 plus 4. These are the 2 factors of this polynomial. So we have one and we have to find the second one. So now they want us to find the value of x in this case. So the value of x here for this one, for x squared plus 4x plus 4, the easier way is to do is what 2 numbers can you multiply that will give you 4, and when you add it together will also give you 4. So to me, 2 and 2 are those 2 numbers, right? So I'm going to use x plus 2 to go to 0. Simple. Now you can use the almighty formula, but this is not fast way to do it. So this means that you have x plus 2 squared is equal to 0, right? Right? So if you continue doing this, you're going to have x plus 2 squared, right? If you square both sides, 0 half. I'm just trying to solve this for you. If you square both sides, so you can eliminate this number, this is what you're going to get. Let's continue here. So that these cancel out. So you have x plus 2 raised to the power 1, and this is because square root of 0, right? So x plus 2 is equal to square root of 0 is also 0. So write 0 right here. So that x is equal to, take 2 to the other side, you have 0 minus 2, and your x is equal to -2. So therefore your answer is -2 and 3, which is option C, -2 and 3. That is your answer. Question 38. Jonathan rode his bike every day for 18 days. The table shows each of the distances he rode. The table also shows the number of days he rode each of those distances. So they gave us the distance in miles. I'm going to put miles here. And they gave us the number of days here. And they gave us 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 5, 6, and 7, 3. What is the median daily distance in miles that Jonathan rode his bike for the 18 days? So now let's calculate this right here. 4 plus 6 is 10. 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 2, 18. So this is actually 18 days. And here, if you want added together, 5 plus 4 is 9, 10, 20. You have 20. So there are 20 miles. But the question is, what is the median daily distance? The median daily distance he rode his bike for the 18 days. And I give us option F is 3, option G, 3.5, option H is 4, and option J is 4.5. Now, we're looking for median. Don't forget that median is not mean. So don't think that when I say median, you're asking for the mean. It's not mean. So the way you answer this, give it a quick one. So day number 2, you have one average of 1, right? Day number 4, you have 3, 3, 3. Day number 3, you have 4, average of 4 miles. So to get average of 4 miles, let's say 4. Day number 6, you get average of 5 miles. Day number 3, you get average of 7, average of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then day number 3, you got 7. So you have 7, 7, 7. This 3 is 4. Yeah, this 4 is 4. So you have 3. Yeah. All right. So if you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that's correct. So if you write this out, you have 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. It should be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. May have 7, 7, 7. The median is going to be the middle side. So this is 18 numbers, right? So you're going to look for 9 and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So 4 and 5. So the median here is going to be 4 and 5. Sorry. Sum of 4 and 5 divided by 2, right? That'll be the median, but that'll be the middle ground. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So those two numbers is going to be the middle, 4 and 5. So that is the sum of 4 and 5 is 4 plus 5 divided by 2. That is 9 over 2. 9 over 2 is same thing as 4.5. So your answer is 4.5, which is J. That is how you solve question 38. Question 39. A tourist organization randomly selected 100 tourists finishing their summer visit to Spain. The organization asked them how many cities they have toured in a country. The table shows the results. Based on this data, for the population of tourists that visited Spain during the summer, what is the best estimate of the number of cities toured? Number of cities toured. So you have number of cities here. They give us a table, and then they give us number of tourists. We just put T right here, number of tourists. And they gave us 1, 2, and 3. And they give us here 10, 40, and 50. So just to quickly explain what this table means, that 10 people visited one city. So 1 times 10. So that means that you're going to have number of visits. This is going to be 10 for this group. Then you now have plus 40 people visited this tourist twice, which means that total of 80 visits to that place. So that is 2, times 40, right? Then you now have 50 people visit this other city 3 times. So you have total of 150 people in that city. So that is 3 times 50. So the total visit to that city is going to be 10 plus 80 plus 150. And this will give you this 90. I'll give you 240. So for these cities, you have 240 visit to those cities. Total number of tourists you have 10 plus 40 plus 50 in total. This is 50, this is 100, right? So the question is, what is the best estimate of the mean number of cities? Again, mean. In this case, average, right? Mean is average, which is how many city that people visited, for this question. So option A, 0.8. Option B, we're given 2. Option C is 2.4. And option D is 3. So the average is total, right, is 240. And the number of tourists is 100. So that your answer is going to be 24/10, which is the same thing as 2.4. So this is 2.4 cities per tourist. So that means each tourist visited 2.4 cities. Question 40. Given the equation square root of x4 is equal to y, where y is a real number, where y is a real number, what must be true of x? What must be true of x? A, they said x is an even number. G, they said x is a rational number. H says x is an integer. And then J says x is a non-negative number. In the question, they said what must, and this must was in bold letter. What must be true of x? So for y to be a real number, x has to be, the asking, is it an even number? No, because if x is 9, right, cube root of 9, y can still be a real number. If x is, say for example, 81, right, which is not an even number, x can still be a real number. So this cannot be the answer. They say x is a rational number. It could be a rational number. A rational number is a number that is, for example, you can put on the number line that has a positive number. S can also be an integer. An integer is any number. For example, 6, 7, 8, whatever. That's an integer. So yes, it can be an integer. But they say y has to be a real number. A real number can be represented also on a line, right, on a number line. So the only answer here that it must be true of x is that it must be a non-negative number. X cannot be -4, cannot be. But x could be -81, -252. Could be anything. So the only answer here is that x is a non-negative number. This is a very quick question. You answer it. Move on to the next question.